Nice bright-eyed and bushy-tailed morning for me. I wanted to put this video up last night, man, but oh my God, I was exhausted. Um, I work at night, so I get off at 7 in the morning. I had worked all night, stayed up to put up that last live video I did, and of course the other couple videos that I added as well. Then to watch the game. And man, just during the game, I was exhausted, but I had to stay up, watch it. As soon as it was over, I kind of packed up and went to bed. So I figured I'll just do this video in the morning as far as our reaction to the first 2022 preseason game for the 49ers, man. And man, there's a lot to be excited about, man. I saw a lot of good things, couple bad things, but I think for the most part, it was mostly really good things we saw, especially at all three quarterbacks. They each threw a nice touchdown pass, not just like well, I guess you could say for the Sudfield touchdown, that was probably a gimme, but still, man, he made a beautiful throw in stride, beautiful spiral, man, nice bomb. All three of the quarterbacks, man. Trey Lance, his first series wasn't too great, wasn't too exciting, but he came out in that second series, and of course, he threw that 76-yard bomb to Danny Gray, and that was beautiful, man. That was a beautiful pass in stride, right in the breadbasket, man. Man, I don't know if he could have really thrown that any more perfectly. If not, maybe lead him a little bit more. But that was still beautiful, man. Because I think if he would have thrown it if a little less further than what he did, there's a chance that Packers defender catches Danny Gray or maybe even blocks the pass. So that was beautiful for him to throw it where he did, and for Danny Gray to catch it and keep running. Man, I can't wait to see that during the regular season. We're already seeing it, so hell yeah, man. I'm really encouraged by most of the everything that I saw out there. But I wrote notes during the game. Like I said, I was exhausted last night. I just woke up a little while ago. Um, so I think instead of kind of editing my notes and everything, I think I'm just going to go in order of what I wrote them during the game, and see if some of you guys chime in, man, and just add to the conversation. As we're going to go in depth, but let's just start out with the whole Charvarius Ward thing, man. That was some news that I heard a while before the game, a couple hours before the game started. Charvarius Ward. If you guys didn't see my video, Kyle Shanahan came out and said that Charvarius Ward has suffered muscle strain and is expected to miss 2 weeks. So this isn't great to hear, man, but it could be worse. And it sounds like they're pretty confident he's going to be ready for week 1 against the Bears. Hopefully they don't push it, but as long as everything goes good, we should see Charvarius Ward by week 1, man. I'm wishing him a great recovery. And that was some other news that came out as well, was with Zach Wilson, I guess in his first preseason game against the Eagles on Robert Saleh's team, the Jets. Zach Wilson had a bruised. I can't talk this morning, man. I need some more coffee. But a bruised bone and a meniscus slight tear, I believe, and he's expected to miss 2 to 4 weeks. He might be back for their first regular season game, but who knows? And that brought up a lot of speculation about Jimmy G possibly going to the Jets because, of course, him and Robert Saleh having that relationship of when they were on the Niners together. And who was it? Mike LaFleur as well as the offensive coordinator, knowing Jimmy G and vice versa. But honestly, Zach Wilson should be back week 1. If not, why would they take on that contract of $27 million for a backup? I don't know. They can negotiate a smaller contract, but I don't really see it happening. Zach Wilson, if anything, might miss 1 week of the regular season. I don't know how slow they want to take it with him, but he will probably be back by week 1 of the regular season, if not the second. So why spend 27 million, or really, what maybe they'll get Jimmy Garoppolo at 14 million. Why would the Jets want to spend that much for 1 week of production from Jimmy Garoppolo? So I don't believe that's going to happen. But some other news was that Mac Jones hasn't been looking so hot in his training camp in the New England Patriots, and that news came out about Kyle Shanahan. He was considering drafting Mac Jones, and it was between him and Trey Lance. He finally admitted it, which, oh my God, I'm super glad. Um, when we were about to draft Trey Lance, before anybody knew that we were going to draft Trey Lance, I was just really hoping for Trey Lance. If anything, maybe Justin Fields. I did not want a pocket quarterback like Mac Jones, who's just super bland, super vanilla. Um, I no, I'm well. I have seen enough of the way Jimmy Garoppolo plays that I don't want to see a pocket passer anymore. I feel like the league is trending towards dual threat quarterbacks, man. And as the years continue on, it seems like that's kind of getting better coming out of high school and college. Those dual threat quarterbacks are becoming more, how do you say, like more common. So I really was not interested at all in drafting Mac Jones, and he's over there struggling in New England right now in his training camp. He did pretty good his first New England, but they just lost their offensive coordinator to the Raiders, and so that's probably a big reason why he's struggling. But still, um, when you don't have an athlete like Trey Lance who can, uh, when the play breaks down, of course, he can just kind of go on the fly and make things happen because at the end of the day, he's an athlete. When you have pocket quarterbacks, they typically are way more one-dimensional. Where if the play breaks down, they're not going to be as nimble and playmaking as dual threat quarterbacks. So, let's say if Trey Lance was in that predicament where he lost his offensive coordinator, I think he'd be in a better position to maintain his poise, his play, his production as far as a one-dimensional quarterback. So that's another reason, of course. But so I'll just go in order of my notes here. One of the things was Trey Lance's pass to Ross Dwally in the flat, that short pass. And this was one of the things they were talking about in training camp that Trey Lance, of course, since last year, we've been talking about Trey Lance's touch on his passes. He tends to throw really hard, or at least last season he did. Um, he needed to put more touch on a lot of his passes. And still in training camp, we're still hearing that his short passes, like his checkdowns, he's throwing a lot of them high. And we kind of saw that last night on the second series, I believe it was. There was a pass to Ross Dwally in the flat, that short pass, and it was really high. But luckily, like we've talked about before, Ross Dwally has elite hands, and he went up and caught that ball with his fingertips, man, and it was a beautiful catch. Um, that's the kind of help we need for Trey Lance as well, man. While he progresses and fixes his passing mechanics, especially in those short passes, we need somebody like Ross Dwally with great hands that can help Trey Lance with that, man. Because it's not going to be a perfect pass every time, man. And at the end of the day, this is what frustrates me about NFL receivers a lot is them dropping passes. I know at the end of the day they're human, but at the end of the day as well, they're paid millions of dollars to catch the ball. That is their job as receivers, and for the most part, tight ends and of course running backs as well. But mostly running backs, of course, they are to run the ball. But tight ends and receivers, man, they get paid millions of dollars to catch the ball. So it really irks me when I see them drop passes because you got high school players, college players catching every single ball, man. You get paid millions of dollars. You should be catching every single ball that's in your perimeter every time. I think, man, there's not really any excuses. If it hits you in the hands, I don't really think there's uh, any excuse. So someone like Dwelly that I don't think I've ever seen him drop a pass. He can really help Trey Lance, and I would like to see him stay out there, man. He's a veteran. He's proven himself at least to the fans, man. I don't know what's going on between him and Kyle Shanahan over the years, but every time Ross Dwelly has been out there, man, he's shown really great uh, plays, at least in the receiving game. As far as his blocking, he doesn't sound too hot there. He's not no George Kittle, but oh well, man, I want to see him in the passing game. But what was it? Holman, man, number 24. He what play was this? He gets beat on the overthrow. Oh yeah. So Jordan Love had passed the ball to one of his receivers. I forget the name, but Holman, number 24, he got beat on that route, and Jordan Love just overthrew it, or else that was going to be a touchdown. And Holman overall, man, like negative plays. If if I'm kind of reviewing the whole preseason game, from what I've seen from Holman, I just remember nothing but negative plays. I think he might have made one good play, um, which I probably wrote in my notes if he did, but um, I just remember nothing but negative things coming from his end of the spectrum, I guess you could say. Yeah, man, Kadar Holman. So we'll keep an eye on him, man. Hopefully, he improves the next preseason game we see him in. But as far as the 49ers versus Packers, their first preseason game, Kadar Holman was not a great show out at all, man. He's uh, a pretty negative showing overall. But Kamoko Ture, I'm trying to remember this play exactly, but um, I kind of have a flash in my mind right now. Kamoko Ture, I think it was a running play, man. He just ended up in the backfield and smacked the running back, dude, and that was beautiful. I like seeing great hits like that, like he put on the running back, and Talanoa Hufanga made a pretty badass hit on the running back for the Packers as well. And that's that physicality I miss on that defense, man. Like those days with Dante Hittner, uh, Deshaun Goldson, man, they used to lay some hits on those other players, man. And I miss that. And I that's one of the things I want to see opposite of Jimmy Ward, because I know he's a good hitter, good tackler, and all that, man. But he also struggles to stay healthy. And if we have somebody opposite of him that brings that physical aspect, I think that balances out because Jimmy Ward is really good, really really good in coverage. Uh, he's almost a lockdown corner in a way. But yeah, if Tolano Hufanga could bring not only that ball hawk aspect and as well as um, that physical aspect, I think that's going to balance our two safeties as a 1-2 punch. Because that was another thing that Tarvarius Moore, he's supposed to be more athletic than Tolano Hufanga, but from what I saw, the one play I saw that I can remember from Tarvarius Moore was ugly, man. He The Niners were blitzing, so Tarvarius Moore was one on one with the receiver, um, and that receiver just beat him off the line completely, man. It's just like Tarvarius Moore got caught up flat footed. He definitely missed a beat. He kind of just stood there for a second while the receiver got off the line, and by the time he got his feet moving, by the time Tarvarius Moore got his feet moving, the receiver was already past him, man. And Tarvarius Moore didn't have that momentum to be able to catch up to him, and he got beat for an easy touchdown, man. So that was ugly. That was not good to see. Hopefully, he can clean that up and get his steps off the line, man, because staying flat-footed when you know the receiver is going to take off from the line and you're playing off 5 yards, you need to get your feet moving quick, man. You can't be doing that. I hope he gets that cleaned up, and if he plays in this next preseason game against the Vikings, I hope he brings nothing but goodness. But let me see, man. Yeah, I already talked about the hit from Hafunga and the Trey Lance pass to Danny Gray. Danny Gray and Ray McLeod, man, they, for the most part, I feel like they had a good showing. Ray McLeod did have that fumble, but other than that, and that was tough, man, because as soon as he caught the ball, he had to tuck and take a big hit, and so that was rough, man. That was kind of borderline. Um, but Ray McLeod is known for a lot of fumbles, so hopefully he can clean that up a little better. But that was, in a way, that was kind of like a hospital ball that was thrown to him, where he took that hit almost immediately, and uh, he was the only one, man. There was like three defenders right there ready to smack him, and they sure did. That's why that ball came out. But other than that, Danny Gray and Ray McLeod were looking really good, man. That was pretty promising because those are two guys that I'm looking forward to seeing in the regular season. Danny Gray being that deep threat speed receiver, and Ray McLeod being that shifty veteran, as well as I don't think I saw. Did I see Ray McLeod return any punts? I don't remember. I don't remember who was returning punts. That's my bad, guys. But that's why you guys are here too, so you guys can remind me what if you guys remember anything that I missed. But number 31, who was number 31? He was playing way too far off the line, I thought. That was a big problem we had last year where receivers were playing way too far off, and I think it was part of the scheme of D'Amico Ryans because of him just trying to do with the best of what he got, not trying to give up big plays, but ended up in a lot of third down conversions for the other teams. But oh yeah, there is that beautiful interception by number 40, Marcelino McCreary Ball. Um, it was deflected by Hafunga and number 38. I don't know who number 38 is yet. I got to double check on that. So number 38 and Hafunga were both on the receiver. They both made a good play to where they both kind of sandwiched him and bounced that ball up in the air, where Marcelino Mercury ball was in the vicinity to catch the deflection and take that interception back for about 50 yards. That was a beautiful play, man, especially when you see three defenders in the same area, um, ready to make a play on the ball. That's a good sign when you see kind of one defender alone on an island with a receiver, or even uh, two receivers, or just him by himself in the flat between the receiver and the quarterback. That's not something you want to see. When you see three defenders in one area ready to make a play, that's what I want to see, man. That's great. But yeah, man, he all three of them made a great play, so that was awesome. And Drake Jackson, man, he was looking good. I know, unfortunately, he left the game with an injury, which I haven't heard anything. It looked like he landed on it, or he got hit in his shoulder, and if I had to guess, it looked like his shoulder got dislocated. So I don't think it's going to be anything very serious. I got to double check on the status of his injury report, but if it's what it looked like to me, if it was really uh, dislocated shoulder, then they should be able to just pop it back in place. It's going to be sore for a few days, and he should be back to normal. But one of the things I noticed about him, man, is he had those that long sleeve shirt on, the white long sleeves, um, and I was like, man, dude, this guy reminds me of Alden Smith. The way he physically looks, um, and the way he's wearing those long sleeves, the white long sleeves. So that was reminiscent of Alden Smith. That was pretty cool, man. Because we all know the history with that, and it's unfortunate that Alden Smith doesn't retire as a 49er. But oh well, that's the way things go sometimes. But I think I already talked about Sudfeld, his beautiful bomb to McLeod, man, and that was a nasty route by McLeod as well. That uh, was it. It was a post. It was a cutback post, and man, he he put that defender on skates. So he really helped out Sudfeld with giving him an easy throw to make. He was basically in the back. McLeod was basically in the back of the end zone by himself, and Sudfeld kind of had to just throw it up there for him, and he sure did. But it was, even though it was a pretty open pass to make, it was still a beautiful ball. That's as far as throwing strength and everything. I think that was pretty beautiful compared to what Jimmy Garoppolo would have done. Because it seemed like a lot of times on those bombs, Jimmy Garoppolo would throw it and the receiver would have to stop and wait for it. It seemed like in that 2019 Rams game, the last game of the season, when we played the Rams, and it was like 34-31 or something like that. Um, when Jimmy Garoppolo converted that 3rd and 16, the second one, to Emmanuel Sanders, it seemed like Emmanuel Sanders was frustrated because he could have ran it in for a touchdown if he was led by the ball, but he had to stop and wait for it. So it still ended up good for us where we got that field goal, but I'm sure it looked like Emmanuel Sanders wanted the touchdown, and that's frustrating. But oh well. At least we got the win at the end of the day, and they came in clutch, both of them. But Flanagan Foles. Oh yeah, Flanagan Foles, man, that pile drive tackle. That was pretty badass, man. These defenders, man, they were looking real physical this game. They were making the Packers their bitch. if I'm, oh man, honestly, it just seemed like the physicality on our side was just uh, way much of a bigger aspect, and that was for every level of the defense. It seemed like first, second, third string. Um, Physically, we're just out physically, out out muscling, yeah, out muscling the Packers. That was pretty cool. A lot of great hits, man, from the defense. I'd like to see that because that was kind of a thing like in the Harbaugh era, where it was like WWF out there, man. It was awesome. I remember one of my buddies. He's I met him through work. He had moved from LA, and um, he didn't have no social life, man, because he come out from LA, didn't know anybody in the area. I was like, come on, man, come hang out, introduce you to some people. Let's have a good time. And he's kind of just the type of guy that likes to stay at home, um, listen to music, listen to records, play music on his bass guitar, guitars, and all that type of stuff. Not a football fan at all, but I'm a huge Niners fan, so of course I had to show him the ropes on that. And went, oh my God, uh, I love to see the expressions of people seeing that kind of stuff for the first time, especially him, man. That's one of the greatest reactions I've seen to somebody actually watching football for the first time. And he's like, "Oh my God, that dude just flew out of nowhere and smacked that other guy." He was like, and he was like having these shocked moments, man. It was awesome. Uh, I live in Arizona now. That was back in California. So we haven't watched the game in a long time together. So that'd be something cool to pick up on when I see him again. Hopefully he'll come. He has come out to Arizona to visit me before, so we'll see if that ever happens again. But I got to go to California and see him as well. He's a good friend, man. And I don't think he became a an official Niner gang, but he definitely enjoyed his time watching the games. So that was something really cool to experience with him. But yeah, that comes in line with all that physicality. You it was that WWF entertainment factor of it in a way, or even like boxing. But what was that beautiful cutback and past it? Oh, you know what? This is one of the plays that I had written down about was Drake Jackson. Was it this play? I think I wrote this down later. Cut back and pass. Yeah, yeah, okay. I almost got it mixed up with a different play, but both plays were Drake Jackson actually that I'm mixing it up with. So Drake Jackson was coming off the left side towards Jordan Love, man, and he made a beautiful cutback, and he deflected the pass, and it almost ended up in an interception, dude. And it was just beautiful. This is one of the narratives that was going on during the game. A lot of people were talking about, and of course, we've been talking about it before the season and during training camp. Was Drake Jackson, the rookie, his athleticism? It really showed in that first preseason game, man. Um, you saw a lot of good things. Like I said, he cut back on this play to avoid the offensive lineman, and got, man, he stretched out like a damn uh, one of those sticky hands that you slap everywhere. I swear he stuck out like one of those, stretched out and deflected that ball, man. He must have been about 12 feet from toe tip to fingertip. He must have been splayed out like 12 feet, it seemed like, man. But that was a really awesome play by him. Shows some of his great athleticism. And the other play that I was getting mixed up with that was so Jordan Love got chased out of the pocket, and Drake Jackson was on the edge towards where Jordan Love was scrambling out towards the left, his left sideline, Drake Jackson's right, and Drake Jackson cut back to go towards him, but he got held by one of the offensive linemen, and this it was good that the refs actually caught it as well because Jordan Love made a little bit of a gain on that play, but they got scratched off by that penalty. But yeah, anyways, Drake Jackson was on that edge. He made a cutback to go towards Jordan Love. He got held by the offensive lineman, but still caught up to Jordan Love to chase him out of the sideline. And I don't think, let's say that there was no penalty on that play. I don't think it was borderline first down, but I think it would have been like a 3-4 yard gain, if that. So for a defensive lineman to run out with an athletic quarterback like that and chase him down, that was pretty awesome, man. We're talking about his athleticism. I think is going to be a game changer on this defense, man. He's making plays, and I don't know how many of the starters for the Packers were on that offensive line, but yeah, Drake Jackson is just looking good, man. I really hope he's back from that injury soon. Hopefully, it's just a muscle bruise. Man, Ambry Thomas. Oh, you know what? Yeah, Ambry Thomas, man. This is a little frustrating to see. He was one of the guys that stepped up for us last year, um, with all the injuries that happened in the secondary. And it, of course, the narrative that Ambry Thomas was pretty much always in position to make a play, but never actually made the play. He was always like white on rice when it came to defending those receivers. On a receiver, he was like white on rice, man. But when it goes to high pointing that ball or just knocking it out of the way, he just does not have that coordination. And it showed again in this preseason game, man. Seemed like he was always in position to make a play, but just couldn't do it. And he just seems to lack ball coordination, man. Hand-eye coordination, ball coordination, whatever you want to call it. He just does not seem to have that. And I think if he's put in any games, I think he's really going to be put to the test, man. That's on film, and I'm not looking forward to, like, Charvarius Ward has already gone down with an injury before the preseason game. It's nothing too serious, but if Ambry Thomas has to step in, he's shown he could be good in coverage, but um, some of these quarterbacks might just throw it at the receiver anyways and test Ambry Thomas out, man, because why not? Um, sure, he's right there, but he never seems to be able to knock that ball out or block the receiver from catching it. I don't understand how how that's really possible. He has all the athletic ability to stay with the receiver, but his hands just aren't cooperating. But you know who was, man? Sam Womack. And I was hearing good things. I'm pretty sure I talked about it in the other videos. I had to have talked about it. Sam Womack has looked really good in training camp, and it really showed in this preseason game. He made two that I can remember. He made two interceptions, and both of them were beautiful. I believe the first one was him. The receiver initially catches the ball, and Sam Womack was smaller than that receiver, but Sam Womack stripped it out of him in the middle of the air and came down with it and landed right on the edge of the sideline where he was almost out of bounds, but he got that interception just by stripping the ball out of the receiver's hands, even though the receiver had caught it initially. Um, I don't even know how you would call that as a stat, like a stripped interception. But man, yeah, that one, and then there was like a, a pass in the flat, or it was a quick slant or something, or an in route where Jordan Love passed it to the receiver, and Sam Womack made a beautiful catch, almost with his fingertips, and ran it back for I don't know how many yards, but just the catch for him to have those ball skills, that was a beautiful catch by a defender. So Sam Womack, man, he's looking really good. As far as right now, nobody really made as much noise as him in the nickel position. So maybe he's going to be that guy. Um, Maybe he'll split reps with Denard and Jason Verrett whenever Verrett comes back, or with Mosley. We'll see how that goes, man. But Sam Womack is a standout, and you know, I think he was wearing number 26. Maybe they should have given him number 24. I don't know if he chose 26, but Holman got number 24, and that's K1 Williams' old number. K1 Williams, our old slot nickel cornerback. Um, the way Womack's looking, maybe he should have gotten that number. But Oren Burks, there was a screen pass by the Packers to I don't know who. I don't know all these Packers names, but anyways, there was a screen pass to the Packers, one of the Packers running backs, and Oren Burks came out of nowhere and smacked him, man, for no gain. And that was a beautiful play. Oren Burks is looking good. We've talked about it before. Oren Burks, yeah, man, showing good things. But one of the other things I saw was Sermon. This has been one of the narratives surrounding him and why he didn't get so much playing time last year. In my notes, this is how I wrote it. Sermon tries to be too cute and cut back instead of following his blockers. So there was this drive where we ended up pretty close to the goal line, and I think it was a third and like two or something. Um, Sermon, the run is to the left, so he tries to cut back to the right and being too cute and ends up getting tackled for a loss. Now he had plenty of blockers to his left. If he would have just followed his blockers, he most likely would have gotten that first down or at least close to it for a fourth and inches or fourth and one for a quarterback sneak. But no, he tried to be too cute, man. And this is one of the things that's been talked about with him is um, a lot of our running backs, they are told to just run north and south, man. Well, just north, basically. Um, just be decisive and run. Follow your blockers. Run forward. But Trey Sermon tries to be too cute. Tries to go too much side to side um, with his jukes left and right instead of just going forward and gaining yardage. And that was a big play that showed that, man, on why he probably, I don't know, man. It sounded like he had improved a bit on all that, but um, he might be taking a step back and he might not make this team. I don't think he wants to stay on the practice squad either. Last year, he had already taken the Niners off of his social media. So um, I don't know if he's kind of learned some patience from the whole Debo Samuel saga, but Trey Sermon had already deleted the Niners from all his stuff last year. So if he's put on the practice squad this year, then he's really going to be pissed off, requesting a trade or whatever. So I don't know, man. And from what I'm seeing, I don't think I'm going to be too sad about that. What I am going to be sad about is what the Niners gave up to draft him. When they move up into the second or third round to pick up Trey Sermon, that's looking like a waste of a pick. And you know what, though, man? I'm not going to hound too much on the 49ers and their draft picks because they've made a lot of great decisions when it comes to the draft, and they made some bad decisions. So we got to take the good with the bad as well. You know, I'm really happy with the like. Come on, man, George Kittle, what, fifth round? Come on. Um, a lot of these guys, Elijah Mitchell was taken way later than Trey Sermon, but looks greater. So it's like, man, you know, tomato tomato. We're gonna get good and bad, but it seems like the good also outweighs the bad. So oh well. But yeah, Holman gave up that easy touchdown, man. He's not looking good at all. I'm not liking what I'm seeing from number 24, Holman. Um, but we already talked about that a bit. It's in my notes here in order, so I'll skip that for now. But one of the things I didn't like to see was the 2 minute drill, 2 minute offense. It wasn't really 2 minutes because I think the Niners only had like 40 seconds to begin the drive. We had all three timeouts before the half, but in total, the time we had on the clock was only like 40 seconds, I think. Um, Sudfeld, he makes a play, makes a pass, I think it was, and next play, I think they had, I think, yeah, it was Jamichael Hasty. He passed it to Jamichael Hasty. Jamichael Hasty makes it out of bounds. So we still had all three timeouts with 25 seconds left. Um, Sudfeld, I don't know what he was doing, what he was thinking this play, but he ends up taking a sack instead of throwing. He had time to throw the ball away. Um, he took a sack with 25 seconds left. Luckily, like I said, we had all three timeouts still, and it's still a preseason game, so it's not too much on the line. But still, if that was a regular season game, he takes that sack. That is not smart. We only have three timeouts. I think we're still like on our our 40-yard line or so. We still had a lot of spaced ground to make up for. But yeah, we still had all three timeouts left. That's not smart for him to take that sack with 25 seconds left, man. We only have one timeout left in that situation. That could be the difference in the game. If that's the end of the game or even just gaining momentum before the half, that can be a big shot in the foot, man. But I think it was the very next play he makes up for it. Makes a beautiful step up in the pocket and pass to Danny Gray, and Danny Gray had a really nice route as well. And yeah, man, that was beautiful to see from Sudfeld. I saw a lot of really good things from Sudfeld this game, and he really does look like a really solid number two quarterback. I know a lot of people talk down on him because of they say he was put in that when he was on the Eagles still, that he was put in the game to lose the game. But yeah, he looked really good in this preseason game, I think, man. So Sudfeld, he made that beautiful step up in the pocket to pass it to Danny Gray, and then I think the very next play, he made a throw on the run that was really nice as well. I forget who it was to, but I wrote it down here, and yeah, man, Sutterfield's looking really good. I liked what we saw from all three of our quarterbacks. Um, from Brock Purdy, there was at least a throw, maybe two, where I did see what other people had talked about as far as when he tries to launch the ball and it just kind of stays in the air for too long, and the receivers kind of have to stop and wait for it. But in that, you know what? Actually, this is one of okay. I'm going to skip to this. Brock Purdy, he reminds me of a 2017 Jimmy Garoppolo. Really, if you like, if you take the number away, the name on the back of the jersey, he looks like Garoppolo in that uniform almost, like a stocky quarterback. Um, Makes nice short throws. Uh, there was one that touchdown that he threw on the run, in the front corner of the end zone. That was a beautiful pass that I had seen. That was almost an exact replay of what we have seen from Garoppolo, like in 2017. So, and you know what? With Jimmy Garoppolo, man, back in 2017 to 2021, he is almost like two different quarterbacks. And he used to have that athleticism, and he wasn't as scared with the football in 2017 as he was in 2021. And it seemed like after that ACL injury, he in 2018, that he never had confidence. It seemed like okay, so that injury lost his athletic confidence a bit, and then when he missed Emmanuel Sanders in the Super Bowl, it seemed like that took his arm confidence away as well. So leading up from 2017 to 2021, losing that confidence, man, I think if Jimmy Garoppolo would have stayed confident, he could have done a lot of way better things. But it seems like Brock Purdy is like a flashback to that 2017 Jimmy Garoppolo where he still had that athleticism, that throwing on the run. That was beautiful, man. Brock Purdy was looking really good this game, and he looks like a really good uh, number three quarterback. Now, as far as him and Sudfeld being in a competition, I still think Sudfeld is the better number two because of his uh, deep ball throwing. I feel like he's still better at throwing far for deep passes than Brock Purdy is. It seems like Brock Purdy is kind of like Jimmy Garoppolo, where he kind of just tries to sling it out real quick with a quick release. And that was another thing that you guys really, if you guys um, go back and watch it, just imagine he's wearing number 10 and he has Garoppolo on the back of his jersey. Tell me if you don't see um, Jimmy Garoppolo 1.5. I'm serious, man. He really reminded me of Jimmy Garoppolo a lot. The way he throws the ball when trying to get that, his release isn't as quick as Jimmy Garoppolo, but it seems like that's how he tries to throw it. I don't know if he's trying to be like Jimmy Garoppolo, but um, the same way Jimmy Garoppolo doesn't get a lot into his deep throws, Brock Purdy kind of has that same problem where he's just a quick passer. Short game, he's really good. Long game, he's not so much, and it seems like Sudfeld is way better than him at that as of right now. So I would still give Sudfeld that number two spot, man, for that reason. But Purdy looks really sharp, man. I'm pretty confident in our other quarterbacks from this standpoint as of right now. But we'll see, man. That was just our first preseason game. We still got a lot to see, and you know, from the narrative that we're hearing from training camp, Brock Purdy was supposed to be pretty not so impressive, but he really impressed compared to what I was expecting from everything that we've been hearing from training camp. And like I said before, all these quarterbacks, they're trying stuff in training camp as well. They're not. It's not a real game, so they're going to try stuff that they need to gain confidence in as well. So that kind of goes into that narrative. And when it's a preseason game, when you're trying to prove yourself, you're going to be a lot smarter with the football. And so I think that played a part in being impressed by Brock Purdy in the preseason game versus the training camp narrative, man. So it's pretty awesome, man. I'm liking a lot of these things. Oh yeah, that was another that was another thing I wrote up, man. Brock Purdy, he's almost like if we drafted Mac Jones. Um, but you know what? He after some of that athleticism that I saw though, he was probably better than Mac Jones um, as far as his athletic, some of the short throwing stuff. But he's almost like our Mac Jones since Kyle Shanahan did not get to draft Mac Jones in the 2021, yeah, 2021 draft. It's almost like he drafted Brock Purdy to be that Mac Jones backup for Trey Lance in a way. That's what I'm seeing at least, man. You guys should let me know your thoughts on that. It's like Kyle Shanahan got the best of both worlds. It's like almost like he got Mac Jones and Trey Lance at the same time. Now, Mac Jones is probably better than Brock Purdy, but Brock Purdy's looking good, man, and he's more of a quarterback like Mac Jones, but he does have that athleticism as well. So I don't know, man. I think Kyle Shanahan he's getting the best of both worlds here. I like it, man, and I like that every quarterback uh, got really nice touchdowns during this game. That was really cool to see. Um, oh yeah, you know what? Something from that. This is crazy because we're going from the end of the game to the very beginning of the game. I don't know why I added this note at the end, but that first series by Trey Lance, he showed us something that I don't think we had ever seen before. I don't know if he learned this off season or what, but he slid. He made a really nice slide where he was scrambling out of the pocket. He slid. That's really encouraging, man, because we do not want him to get hurt. He gets hurt, our season might be over. I'm not saying it is. I was really impressed by those quarterbacks, like I said, our second and third string. But the more Trey Lance can do to protect himself, the better. Because I did not like all that confidence he was taking into smacking other linebackers and stuff last year. Because this is the NFL, man. These are big boys. This is men now, you know. You don't want to be taking those hits. And so that's really encouraging to see him sliding. We'll see if, because I think he was better last year at throwing the ball away than Garoppolo as well. But we'll see if that's something he's worked on as well. So that was two questions coming into this season that we're having about Lance. Can he stop taking those hits, learn how to slide, and can he throw the ball away? when it needs to be thrown away instead of taking the sack. So we still have to look for him throwing the ball away, but I'm really enthusiastic to see him sliding instead of taking those hits, man. But yeah, like I said, man, I'm really impressed by everything I saw. I hope you guys comment and talk about it with me as well. Let me know what you guys saw because I don't see everything. Perspective helps. Other people's perspective not just helps me in the way that I see the game, but it helps other people when you comment it, and it helps the whole narrative as well, man. Because yeah, I don't want to bring the whole native culture into it, but like as far as this is why we had councils because we used to all sit around and we still do it, but we sit around, talk, get everybody's perspective, and that's how we make our decisions. But yeah, man, let me know what you guys think. I'm really excited about this first preseason game. Everybody looked pretty good for the most part. We had I'm I'm sorry to single him out, but Holman, that's I was not impressed, man. I do not like what I see at all. So Holman, number 24. Um, Other than that, there was that bad play by Tarvarius Moore for the bad things, but we still got some preseason to go, man. Hopefully they can clean those things up. I don't want to wish bad upon them. I want them to succeed, so I hope they can make a comeback, man. A lot of our players have, and a lot of our starters didn't play. We didn't see no Brandon Ayuk, Fred Warner, Trent Williams wasn't out there, and George Kittle wasn't out there. Juszczyk wasn't out there, and Trey Lance was making plays without them, man. Um, so we have a lot to be excited about. I hope you guys are excited like I am. Um, I can't wait, man. I think I'm gonna have to get well, what do you call it? Direct TV. I think I'm gonna have to get that. It's expensive for me right now. I've taken a lot of time off work because of ceremony and my grandparents haven't been doing too good as far as their health. So I went to go see them, spend a week with them in California. Um, so I've kind of fallen behind on finances, but I'm recuperating from that, and I think I'm going to try and get direct TV for Sunday Ticket, man, because I was having a really hard time trying to find the game last night. I tried NFL Plus and all that stuff, man. It just was not working at all. So if you guys are trying NFL Plus, let me know what you guys think, man, because it was really pissing me off. I was trying it on both my phone and my TV, and it was not working at all. I had to go pirate the damn game, and it's not convenient at all. I don't know what the delay is on the game. When I watch a live game, I want to watch it live. I don't want a 2 minute delay, which I'm not saying there was, but I don't know. I don't know what the hell um, uh, is going on during the actual live game versus what I'm watching as far as um, how far ahead that one is versus what I'm watching. So unfortunately, I think I'm gonna have to get DirecTV in the NFL Sunday Ticket, man. But oh wow, dang, that's what I want your guys' input on that. Help me out, man. But anyways, that's another show. Wrap up with Niner Gang Wolfcast. I'm Wolf. Um, I appreciate you guys that are watching. Please subscribe. Um, yeah, I really need you guys to subscribe, like the videos, please, comment, all that type of stuff, please. But I'll catch you guys as soon as possible. We'll see what kind of material we can come up with as far as what else we should talk about. But of course, if you guys comment, then we can add more to that. And I appreciate you guys. Thank you. Take care.